Okay, folks, listen. This is a live stream, and I'm not really going to be interacting with the viewers that much in this video. This is mainly I'm just going to show some information that I showed a couple of days ago, but I deleted the video because it wasn't that fluid. But it's connecting to next year's Super Bowl and why it's important, and why I'm saying because every big event that they have is a ritual, okay, that has some significance. But I'm not saying that there's going to be any predictive programming, but what's important is uh, that the that the number of the Super Bowl and the date it's on and how it connects. Okay, that's what's important to this ritual. Of course, it's going to connect to Elvis and Trump. Okay, which I told you my two predictions is that on June 11th, there's going to be a spectacular event in Seattle. And after this event in Seattle, which is in King County in the state of Washington, it's going to somehow connect to Elvis, this event. Okay, it's going to be something incredible. When I say incredible, in a bad way, not in a good way. All right, and uh, after that event on June 11th in Seattle, then you have another uh, ritual, which is August 4th. Trump's going to get his head wound, most likely in Ohio. For sure, it's August 4th, the date, which happens to be Obama's birthday, that Trump gets the head wound and he survives that deadly head wound. Okay. So August 4th is Trump's head wound. Now, is it going to happen this year or next year? I don't know. All I know is that Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, most likely in Ohio. Okay. But I'm 100% about the date. Okay. Now, and then the other connection is that next year, June 11th, Seattle. Okay. Now, so let's go back to what I was trying to tell you. Next year's Super Bowl, why is it important? Let me tell you something. It's on February 11th next year, and it's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, uh, this is the first time that it's going to be on the date February 11th. And why is February 11th so important? Okay, you're going to see why in a moment. So let's get started. Remember, if people come in late to the chat, let them know to start from the beginning if they're trying to figure out what we're talking about. By the way, I live right now. In an apartment at the airport. That's why it's kind of loud. But anyway, so George Washington. Okay, this guy is important to this puzzle because I told you Seattle's in Washington. Okay, and it's King County, and Elvis was known as the king, right? Anyway, so anyway, George Washington was known as the father of our country. Okay, and that's mockery because we only have one father, and that's our Father in heaven. Okay, so there's a reason why they named him this. Okay, he's the starting point for all this. Okay, and so he's known as the father of our country, right? Now, real quick, pay attention. You're going to see. First of all, June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, okay? Now, the word father, all I want you to pay attention to is the 58 right now. The word father, if you just add up the letters, F being the sixth letter, A being the first letter, T the 20th letter, H the eighth letter, E the fifth letter, R the 18th letter, add that up, it equals 58. Okay, 58, all right? Now, why is this important, okay? 58, because next year's Super Bowl is the 58th Super Bowl. Pay attention, folks, okay? The 58th Super Bowl, and it's being held on the 42nd day of the year, which is 2/11. And this is the first time that's going to happen like that. So the 58th Super Bowl is on the 42nd day of the year. And it just so happens, 100 minus 42 is 58. So you have the 58 and 42 adds up to 100 exactly, right? And why is this important? The fact that it's on 2/11, the 42nd day of the year. Okay, and the word father equals 58, remember. And George Washington was the father of our country. Do you get it? Father equals 58, and it's the 42nd day of the year, 2/11. Because George Washington's original birthday was on 2/11. Okay, and he's known as the father of our country, and father equals 58. The 58th Super Bowl is being held on the 42nd day of the year. Super Bowl 2/11, the date next year, 58th Super Bowl. Okay? Washington State is the 42nd state. Elvis dies at the age of 42. Okay? Do you understand what I'm showing you here? Did you get it? 58 Super Bowl. 42nd day of the year. Father equals 58. George Washington, the father of our country. Do you get it? All right. Now, also, the 42 is very important because I told you June 11th is, hold on one second, I got to check this. Oh yeah, okay. So June 11th, I told you is the target date for the Seattle event in King County, which is in the state of Washington, right? And Elvis died at the age of 42. Washington is the 42nd state. And look, 6/11's backwards date, because there's only one backward date of a date. So, and the way you get the backwards date of a date is, this is how you, whatever date you pick, its backwards date has to add up to the 365 days of a year. So 6/11 is the 162nd day of the year. Its backwards date would be 7/22 because there's 203 days left in the year. Okay, that's how you figure it out. Whatever day you pick and whatever day that is, its backwards date would be how many days are left in the year. That's all. Okay, so 6/11's backwards date is 7/22, and nobody cares about the 7/22. The point I'm trying to make is that 6/11's backwards date is connected to the 42nd 42 days, because this is the only backwards date that can have a 42 connection, because any other backwards date would be either more than 42 or less than 42. This is the only connected 42 of a backwards date of its reverse date, okay? Of throughout the year, because every day would be either more or less, okay, of its backwards date. Okay, do you understand? All right, so that's how incredible the 6/11 is, because it connects to the 42 also. All right, now here's some more connections. Super Bowl 58, right? Las Vegas, Nevada. Nevada is the 36th state, and you know Elvis is most concerts he ever had was in Las Vegas. Okay, the Sin City. I mean, come on, man. Where else would the devil be except for Sin City? All his, life, when he was performing, Anyway, so Nevada's a 36th state, and 1 through 36, if you add up all the numbers, is 666, right? Are you getting what I'm showing you? And look, this is Elvis's birthday, 1/8. From 1/8 to 3/6 is 58 days. If you add the day, 1/8 to 3/6 is 58 days. 1 through 36 is 666. 58 Super Bowl. 58 equals the word God. 58 equals the word Father. And I told you all the connections that I was just showing you with that. Okay? Are you getting it? Someone's saying that Trump is in Vegas today. Wow, what a coincidence. Wow. Now, hold on. Oh, you remember earlier? Hold on, folks. Give me a second here. You remember earlier when I was showing you this? The word Father? And I told you the 162nd day of the year is June 11th. But look at the word Father in the first row right here. It's 5831. Check that out. The reduced number is 31. 5831. Check this out. If you went forward from Elvis's birthday, 5,831 days, look at that. It lands on Christmas Day. I mean, can you believe that? From Elvis's birthday forward, 5,831 days it lands. Because remember, the word Father is 5831. And look, Elvis turns 89 next year. Look at that, 89. 5831 lands on Christmas Day. Look at that. I told you it's complete mockery. And what is this? Let's see what this is. Oh, 58 days. Because, this is the 58 Super Bowl. Father equals 58. Okay. And, and I told you the letter O is a crown, right? The 15th letter of the alphabet is the crown, the O. Look at that. 58 days, its percentage, which I call the devil in the details, is 15.89%. So you have the 15 for the crown and then 89. Elvis's age is 89 next year, 89, you see? I'm just saying, what's the chance of that? Notice it says 1589. 1589 is 58 days, which equals the word father, Super Bowl 58. 1589, the devil in the details, is the percentage of 58 days. Watch this. 1589, right? Watch this. Look at this. I just thought of it right now when I was doing it. Watch this. So from Elvis's birthday, let me see if I got this right. Hold on. Come on, man. Stupid phone. My phone has got so much, it's running slow because I have so much saved on it. Hold on, folks. Let's see. So watch this. So remember, I was just showing you the 58 days, the percentage is 15.89. So it would be like saying 158 or 159. 158, 159, right? It just so happens from Elvis's birthday, you go forward on a leap year, okay? You go forward from Elvis's birthday to Trump's birthday. Look, it's 158, not including the day. And if you add the day, it's 159. 158, 159. You see that? You see what I'm saying? From Elvis's birthday to Trump's birthday is 158 or 159 if you use a leap year. You know what I'm saying? Just sheer coincidence, I'm sure. Okay? Do you understand how incredible that is, what I just showed you? See, I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys are grasping it, you know. And I told you that Elvis is the CC rider, and you know CC is the 3-3. It just so happens the 89th day of the year is 3:30. You see that? And Elvis, he was pronounced dead at 3:30. Because, you know, it's a mockery of God, because God was crucified at the age of 33 and he rose from the dead at 33 after 3 days. You understand? Because it's all about the 3 and the 33. They mock God, okay? Now, and you know, Washington died on 12/14, and you know, the word God equals 26. So from Washington's death date to Elvis's birthday is 26 days. God equals 26. From Washington's death, you know. But anyway, forget about that. Okay, so here's interesting, something interesting. You know, if Trump becomes president again, like after he gets his head wound, I don't know what's going to happen. But if it makes sense that he would be the next president, because I'll tell you why. Okay, pay attention. All right. If Washington, check here. Hold on. Was there 14 presidents before Washington?
According to Hankering for History, Peyton Randolph, Henry Middleton,
These people, hold on. It lists the names of these. Hold on. Was George Washington the 15th president or the first president?
According to the White House, the biography for President Washington and past presidents.
You make me sick, Google. Hold on. Hold on, folks. I'm trying to find the right words. Was Washington the 15th president? I'm going to go nuts. I can't figure out what to say because I've shown it before. Anyway, let me just tell you. You can look it up yourself. Supposedly, Washington was... You know, he was the first president that they made that was used as the word president, I guess. But there was actually 14 presidents before him. That's what they say, okay? It doesn't mean it's true. I don't care, you know, whatever the word president that they chose. But he was the first president, they said. But if he's the 15th president, then it makes a lot more sense. I'm going to tell you why. Because I told you that the letter O, okay, equals 15, right? And if Trump's going to be the next president, okay, pay attention. And remember, Washington, if he was the 15th president, and Trump's going to be the next one, watch. You're going to see how it connects. So remember, the letter O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. That's the crown. So if Washington's the 15th president, that makes sense because look, the 15th prime number equals 47. And Trump's going to be the 47th president, right? And it just so happens that the 47th prime number is 211, you see? Washington's original birthday. And the Super Bowl is going to be on 211, remember? And I just told you all the connections with it, the father and stuff. And that's why you have the word the Don, because that's what they say about Trump, right? The Don father, the Godfather, the Don. Don equals 33, D-O-N, those letters. So the Don, right? Because that's what they call the Godfather, the Don. And so that's a 211 connection there, right? With the 47. So if Washington's actually the 15th president and not the first president, you know what I mean? It would make sense now, you know. And by the way, MLK was born on 115. Look at that. If he's the first president or the 15th president, and MLK, you know, the Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis the King lived. Get it? Okay? They whacked the king for Elvis the King. And now Seattle, which is in King County, is named after Martin Luther King now, King County. It wasn't named after him before. Now they named it after him because they're going to destroy King County in Washington State, okay? And look at this, from 115, because, you know, I'm looking at the 1 and the 15, and from MLK was born on 115, from 115 to 47, because the 15th prime number is 47, remember? 115 to 47 is 84 days, look at that. 2 months, 24 days. Next year is 2024. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is a leap year or not, I'm not sure. I didn't check that. I don't remember now. But anyway, so that was the connections for Washington for next year's Super Bowl. And we don't even know who's going to be playing because they're saying that maybe it's Harry Styles or something. I'm not sure, but that could be just a rumor. Who is rumored to be the halftime show in 2024 Super Bowl?
According to Planet Radio, Harry Styles. Rumors that the former One Direction singer could be performing at the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show circulated on Twitter, much to the delight of fans. Independent American football news account ML Football were the first to share the rumor.
But it could be anyone. Who knows, you know? When was Harry Styles born?
Harry Styles was born on February 1st, 1994.
Huh. He was born in England. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so now I'm gonna show you more connections here, and pay attention, folks. This is, like I said, if you can't see what I'm about to show you, and know that there's no way that these could be coincidences, then there's no hope for you. But first, real quick, let me just show you more mockery of how Elvis mocks. Okay, when I say Elvis, I don't know if he's doing it or I don't know. It has to be. He has to be a part of it. There's just no way he doesn't know. It's impossible. Okay, it's impossible for him not to know that he's the one. All right, that's why I believe that he is running the show. Okay, now, because he died and he's known as the king, and yet he dies on the toilet. The toilet is known as the throne because they love to mock God. And you know what I'm saying? So he dies on the throne. The king dies on the throne. And Seattle's in King County. I mean, come on. And he dies at the age of 42, and Washington is the 42nd state where he is. Anyway, he dies on the throne. What was Elvis reading when he died on the toilet?
According to Ben Vaughn, when Elvis Presley died on August 16, 1977, he was reading a book called The Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus.
See what I mean? He's reading a book called The Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus. I mean, and he dies on the throne because Jesus is God who is on the throne, who has the crown, and the king wears the crown. Okay? Jesus is the king, not some, somebody named Elvis, But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is everything is a mockery of God, okay? And anyway, I could keep going on and on about that, but let me just go think. Yeah, I know that Lisa Marie was born on February 1st, right? And she just recently died, okay? I appreciate everyone, doing their research and stuff. Yeah, someone's putting the word face and faces. I'm not sure exactly what you're... But anyway, the word face, faces, I think equals the same as the word camel. Because I told you Elvis is the camel. the camel that shoots through the eye of the needle. And the word camel is another mockery. Because came, L, get it? L came. Because L is going to be birthed out of the sea. Don't you understand? Elvis is the camel, came L, that's going to be birthed out of the sea in Seattle. He is the beast out of the sea. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, I know. I thought maybe you were saying feces is spelled Feces, yeah. Not faces, but anyway, whatever. I'm not going to... Didn't I tell you this? Don't say stupid stuff, okay? Don't get me irritated, okay? You're lucky I have a sense of humor with your nonsense. Come on, knock it off, all right? Anyway, so now let me get back to what I was talking about, because Washington is that's why it's going to be held on 2/11, that Super Bowl, okay? Which was Washington's original birthday. I told you all the connections of it. Whoever came in late to the chat, go watch from the beginning because it's super important you understand the connections I showed. Go back and watch it again for the people who forgot it already, okay? Go back and look now. Look how important Washington is to this puzzle and to the death date, because it's all about death and destruction for what's coming to Seattle. That's why a horse called Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown the year Elvis died. The year Elvis died, there was a horse, because horse racing is known as the sport of kings, okay? Seattle's in King County. Elvis is known as the king. Elvis, the year he died, there was a horse called Seattle Slew. Slew means to violently kill, because they're going to destroy Seattle. It's called Seattle Slew. The horse wins the Triple Crown. And what day did he win it? June 11th, 1977. So June 11th, the day I'm telling you, the Seattle's going to be slewed. He wins the Triple Crown, the year Elvis died. Okay? So it's all about death and destruction. So if you look at George Washington, his death date, okay? And then I connect it to Elvis's death date. Now watch this. All right? Hold on, let this plane go by, because I told you I'm near the airport. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, that's interesting. Harry Styles, because it is all about the hair. Elvis had that, that hairstyle, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely something weird about that hairstyle, that's for sure. And you know what he promotes. I'm not going to even get into that, but okay. Yeah, I saw your PP references, folks. I see it. Anyway, so let's get back to the connections to George Washington's death, okay? Because it's all about death and destruction. So look, George Washington's death date is 12/14. Don't look at the year. It's the date I'm looking at, 12/14, okay? This is not the year that Elvis died, okay, or the Washington's death. But pay attention. From Washington's death date, he died on 12/14. If you go forward, starting from a leap year, okay, pay attention, because if it's not a leap year, it still comes out to that. So just pay attention. 12/14, which is Washington's death date, to Elvis's death date of 8/16. That's the day he died, 8/16, is 611 days. 6/11 from Washington, because Seattle's going to be struck on 6/11. From Washington's death date to Elvis's death date, the year Elvis died, there was a Seattle Slew. 6/11, Seattle Slew wins the Triple Crown. From Washington's death to 8/16, 611 days. From Elvis's death date to 6/11, only on a leap year, 2024, is 666 days, which I've told you guys before in the past. This is not the first time I'm showing this, but it has to be on a leap year because it's 665 days on a regular year. But adding the day on a leap year from Elvis's death to 6/11 is 666 days, because it's all about the 666, folks, with Elvis. I told you that many times. Now, remember, I'm showing you that from Washington's death date to Elvis's death date is 611 days. Now, it just so happens that from Washington's death date to 9/11, to 6/11, just straight through, is 911 days if you look forward. So not only is George Washington connected to Elvis's death date with a 6/11, if you go from Washington's death date forward to 6/11, 911 days, it lands on 6/11. Can you believe this? Do you understand what I'm showing you? And notice that is 21 plus 24 is 45, because I told you it's all about the 45. Anyway, again, I ask you, what is the chance of that? And look, Elvis equals 67 and Jesse equals 67, his identical twin that died at birth. It just so happens, if you separate those numbers, 6 and 7, 6 and 7, if you separated it, look, it comes out to 12/14. But you have to separate the numbers. And that's Washington's death date, 12/14. You see? And it just so happens that 67 is the first number in gematria that equals 162. And the next time you see 162 is 76, because 76 and 67 is the same letters. And that's the first time you see the 162, and that's the last time you will see 162 for any number, when written out. Any number you write written out into the gematria calculator, the only numbers is 67 is the first one, and the 162 is because the 162nd day of the year is June 11th. And I just told you that Elvis equals 67 and Jesse equals 67. You see? The identical twins. And Jesse died at birth. And why is that important, the identical twins? Okay, you'll see in a moment. Look down here. From Elvis's birthday to 9/11 is 247 days. Okay, just in the same year. And that percentage, which I call the devil in the details, is 67.67%. See? I just showed you that Elvis and Jesse both equal 67, the identical twins. And it just so happens from Elvis's birthday to 9/11 is 67.67. The twins, the twin towers fall. From Washington's death, you go forward to 8/16 on a leap year, which is Elvis's death. From Washington's death to Elvis's death is 247 days on a leap year, 67.67%. Okay? How many coincidences do I have to show you before you believe? Okay? How many? How about this coincidence? Pay attention. From Elvis's birthday to 9/11, is 247 days. So the beginning is 1/8, forward 247 days. 666 days. Its devil in the details, which I call the percentage, is 1/8, 2.47%. 666 days is 1/8, 2.47%. 182.47. 1/8, 247. Do you see it? Do you see it? What I'm showing you. Okay? Because Elvis is the Antichrist. All right? This is just, if you can't see it, there's no hope for you. I can't help you, okay? Now, also, we're talking about the 162, because I told you June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. It just so happens that when you get to the devil in the details, 162%, which I told you June 11th is 162nd, it lands on Elvis's death date. If you go from the first of the year, you see? 593 or 594. And you know what's interesting? The 108th prime number is 593. And I told you Elvis was born on 108, January 8th, 108, you could say. The 108th prime number is 593. And look, it's 162.47. See? 16, 2.47 again. 16247, 247 days to 9/11. And Elvis died in the 16th state, Tennessee. And look, Elvis was born in the first month, Trump's born in the 6th month. Anyway, there's many connections I'm not even showing you, folks. This is just some of the smaller connections here. I hope you guys are understanding this. Okay, hold on. Give me a second, folks. Hold on. Just ignore the trolls, folks. I'll get rid of them, don't worry. Yeah. Hold on, folks. Give me a second. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm doing something really quick here. Give me one. I'm not looking at the chat, folks. Okay, now. So George Washington's death date, right, is 12/14. If you go to 6/11, the next time it comes around, from 12/14 to 6/11, look at this. It's 181 days. And 181 days is 5 months, 29 days from this calculation to this calculation. 529. JFK's birthday is 529. And by the way, 6/11 on the Julian calendar is 529 on the Julian calendar. From our calendar is the Gregorian. If you convert it for 6/11 our calendar to Julian calendar, it would be 529, which is JFK's birthday. And JFK's backwards birthday is August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound. So the guy who got the head wound, his birthday, his backwards birthday is 8/4, which is the day I'm telling you Trump gets his head wound. Anyway, so the 181 days is very important between Washington's death date and 6/11, 181, because the 42nd prime number is 181. Okay? And Washington's the 42nd state. Elvis died at the age of 42. You remember all that stuff that I showed you earlier? Washington's original birthday being the 42nd day of the year. Okay? Remember all that? Remember all that I showed you? Okay? These are not coincidences, folks. Everything I'm showing you, okay? And I showed you how that 6/11's backwards date is the only date that has the 42 connection. Okay? You understand? These are impossible coincidences that I'm showing you, okay? Here's some more. Remember I was just showing you the 42nd prime is 181? Look at this. Elvis's death date. If you add up the numbers of his death date, 8 plus 16 plus 19 plus 77 equals 120. If you add up 6/11 next year, 2024, 6 plus 11 plus 20 plus 24, it equals 61. Add it up, it's 181. The 42nd prime number is 181, man. Are you looking at what I'm showing you, folks? Okay? Do you understand what I'm showing you? All right. And by the way, you know, remember at 611's backwards date was 722. Remember that? It just so happens if you add up Elvis's birthday and Trump's birthday, because you know I told you that Trump is the replacement twin for Elvis's identical twin that died at birth. Look, it adds up to 722, and I told you 611's backwards date is 722. Anyway, look, and backwards the number 722 is 227. And look, 7 times 22 equals 154. The Antichrist number equals 154. The words the Antichrist equals 154. And 22 divided by 7 is 314, which is the pi number. You know, the pi, which it has to do with the circle, the crown. Okay. And it just so happens that if you add up Elvis's birthday and 611, you get 719. And what's important about 719? That's Trump's backwards birth date. Trump's backwards birth date is 719, and look at that. It's the only date that has the 36 connection, which is the 666. You see, and Elvis's backwards birth date is 1223, and that has 1617 connection. And I told you Trump's gonna get his head one in Ohio, which is the 17th state, and Elvis died in the 16th state, which is Tennessee. You see. 16, 17. I'm just showing you all kinds of, you know, connections. And I thought this was interesting, not that big of a deal, but 611 days is 167.40. And Jesus, you know, if you add a crown, the O, because Jesus has the crown, is 7461. So you have a 74 and a 61 with a crown for 611 days, you know. Anyway, folks, that's it. All right, I'm going to end the video in a couple minutes. I didn't see everyone's comments. I apologize because I was busy doing stuff. So whoever came in late to the chat, I'm going to leave the video up. Make sure you watch from the beginning. It's very important. Okay? And just to... yeah, I appreciate all you guys being here, okay? And God bless all of you. And Jesus is God. I know, listen, folks, I know I yell at you guys. I only yell at you guys to make you have passion, because I want you to have passion for for anything that you find, you know, that you know to be truth, okay? But if you are not a believer, you know, in what I'm saying, then you don't have to have passion for it. But if you actually believe in what I'm saying, then you should have passion for it. That's all I'm saying, you know. And that's why I get irritated and I call you guys a bunch of lukewarm, lazy, unappreciative bums, okay? But you know, I do that just to, you know, put a flame under your butt, you know, to make you, you know, understand, to, you know, wake up. Because this is no joke what I'm showing you here, all right? This is, I'm telling you, it's 1,000,000% that these events are going to happen. There's just no way around it. It has to happen, all right? Anyway, wait till you see what I'm going to show you. This information that I showed in this video is nothing compared to what I'm about to show you guys. Okay, and again, let me repeat to everyone, okay? All right, stupid, there's some gnats, a couple of gnats in here. Because, you know, I leave the window open and there's like the screen is not all the way closed. Like it doesn't, it has, so some bugs get in here. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, listen, like I said, I've been predicting these two events for the last 5 or 6 years, right? And let me explain to you again. The only thing I didn't know was the year, okay? And again, let me repeat why every year I had to tell you that was the year, because I just didn't know what number target that they were going for. And the reason I'm saying that is because, look, if the Seattle Slew ritual happened the year Elvis died, which was when he was 42 years old, right? So So Elvis dies at the age of 42. That same year, Seattle Slew wins the Triple Crown on 6/11. And he was 42 years old when that ritual of the 6/11 Seattle Slew winning the Triple Crown. Okay, now, so you would think that if it was going to happen again, that it would have to do with the 42. All right, so that's why I said, okay, from Elvis's birthday, 42, I mean, from Elvis's death date, 42 years later would be the actual ritual. Since Washington's the 42nd state, Elvis dies at the age of 42, and the Seattle Slew ritual happened on 6/11. That year he died at the age of 42. So that's why I thought it could be the 42. So I said, okay, I know the date that it's going to happen. I know who's the players involved. I just don't know what year. But you would think it'd be 42 years later. It didn't happen 42 years later. I go, okay, 9/11, it was the 43rd president. So maybe it's the 43 year. Because the next 9/11 is the 6/11, which is the upside down 9/11, which I didn't even, that's not how I predicted the 6/11. Had nothing to do with the upside down 9/11, okay? Because it all came supernatural. Anyway, so I thought, okay, since Bush is the 43rd president, he was the 9/11 president, it'd be 43 years after maybe. Didn't happen again. So I said, wait a minute, Obama's the 44th president, and Trump is the 44th person to become president, but the 45th actual president. So maybe it was 44 that they were targeting. So it's the 44 that it is. And, you know, and Obama's born on 8/4, which is the day Trump gets his head won, 8/4. So I said, okay, Trump connects to 44 and 45 because Trump is the 44th person to become president, but the 45th actual president to take office. Okay, so I said it could be the 44 years. Again, didn't happen. So I said, okay, this is it. Trump's the 45th president. Elvis visited Nixon, the only president he visited, and he gave him a 45. So I said, okay, it's the 45th president he's going after. The 45 number. So 42, 45. And again, it didn't happen. Because Elvis has been dead now for 45 years. And it still didn't happen. But here, that's what I'm saying. I'm ready to show you what the target is. It is 1,000,000%, folks. Not 100%, 1,000,000%. Okay? I told you that last year. If it doesn't happen, this year, I told you that if it didn't happen, then it's 1,000,000%. You're going to see why it's 1,000,000% very soon. Okay? Because you'll see when I show it to you, you're going to lose your mind. Okay? And then you'll understand what it was all about. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I see your calculations about the victims and stuff. Yeah, I appreciate everyone's research. God bless you. Yeah, and anyway, like I said, there was no way that I could possibly know what numbers calculation they were going for when it could have been any of that. But here's the thing, and the reason that God, I told you that this information, folks, it came supernatural, every single thing from my birth to this point in life. This was my destiny. And why did God not reveal the year to me? Why didn't, just the year he didn't reveal. Everything else he revealed. Every single thing. The players involved, the dates, and where these events are going to happen. It's all perfect. Now, why didn't God let me know the year? Because I needed to calculate the number of the beast. How would we know all this information if there was no calculations involved? Because the first year I was doing this, especially when I first started numbers, I didn't know what the heck I was doing because I never watched gematria channels. I hated gematria. So when I first started doing numbers, which I told you was the reason, it had to do with me calculating the name of Jesus and Lucifer. That's how it all started. Okay. And because every single thing led me to God and the book of Revelation, which is playing out, okay, which is going to play out, the beast of the sea. I'm trying to tell you that I'm here to reveal who the Antichrist is, okay? And what's funny is a lot of people, when Elvis first came out, they said he was the Antichrist. That's what's incredible. I didn't even know that, you know. Who would know that information without this internet thing coming out, you know? But anyway, that's why, you know, with the internet, you can use it for good and evil, you know what I mean? And that's what God does. God uses even the things that are bad to, you know, point you in the right direction, you know. But anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that there was no way to be able to, for me to figure that out unless I did all the calculations, okay? That's the only possible way, okay? And like I said, once you see what I'm going to show you, then you're going to know what it was all about, okay? And yeah, I don't want to go too far ahead because there's something I want to say, but I'm going to wait, okay? Anyway, God bless all of you, and make sure you watch from the beginning of the. I'm hearing noises outside my door. That's why it's distracting me. Make sure you watch the video from the beginning. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. I see something in my glasses is driving me nuts. By the way, glasses equals Seattle. The word glasses equals Seattle. And that's why during the Elvis halftime show at the Super Bowl, which by the way, folks, I did a bunch of Super Bowl videos. Got to go watch that to see all the connections. But it was the Super Bowl, the Elvis one, which I'm going to do another video about to show all the connections again. But the Elvis Super Bowl, they gave glasses out to everyone viewing across America. You know, they give out millions of glasses, Coca-Cola, the CC, okay? At the Elvis halftime show, glasses, folks. And glasses equals Seattle, okay? And the quarterback for that event was, for that Super Bowl was Joe Montana. Joe Montana's born on 6/11. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. Hold on, what are you saying? Yeah. Yeah, anyway, there's so much more to that puzzle. I'm not going to show it here because I want you guys just to focus on what I showed earlier in the video. But literally, I went through a fine-tooth comb with every single connection to that Super Bowl, okay? Because I've done so many videos about it and how it connects to Elvis and this puzzle, all right? Anyway, folks, make sure you watch the video from the beginning. I'm going to end the video now. Jesus is God. And I'm going to leave this video up, so make sure you watch it, okay? From beginning to end. All right, folks. End of video.